Welcome to this tutorial about moderated mediation with a process macro by Hayes. I will show you how to run a moderated mediation with process model number 14, both from the menu as well as with process syntax. And then we will take a close look at the output for process model number 14. And I'll show you where you can find the relevant information for your hypothesis tests. If you already know how to run the model and just want to interpret the output, you could jump directly to this time. Model 14 is a mediation model in which the B path is moderated. That is the path from the mediator to the dependent variable. Let's start with the process menu. In SPSS you can find this dialog under Analyze Regressions Process. In order to run a moderated mediation, you have to enter the model number here, and you have to enter the variables: the independent variable, the dependent variable, the mediator, and the moderator. Now we could in principle run the model by just clicking on OK. Paste does not work with process. If you want to run process with syntax, you have to write it yourself. We'll come to that later. Beside those two mandatory entries, there are a couple of other options that are quite helpful. If you want to take control variables into account, you could put them in here under covariates. And the bootstrap option here is quite helpful. The moderated indirect effect is calculated with bootstrapping by default. But if you want to have bootstrap confidence intervals for all the other coefficients in the model, you can choose that here. That has the benefit that you don't have to care about the normality assumption anymore. This would be the two options I use on the main dialog. Now let's go to the options subdialog. I would use this option in order to get simple slopes for a diagram. Then I would mean center products, but only for continuous variables. For binary variables it doesn't make sense. Here I would choose a robust standard error, because then I don't have to worry about the homoscedasticity assumption anymore. I change the decimal places in the output to 3, because then I don't have to round as much in my head later on. I like to change the conditioning values for the simple slopes or for the indirect effect to -1 standard deviation, mean, and +1 standard deviation, but the default option is OK too. And I like to choose the Johnson name in output. We'll come to that later. Now continue, and then OK. Paste doesn't work. So this is how you can run the model from the dialog box. Next we will look at the second option to run the model, the process syntax. Those are the necessary elements of the process syntax for this moderated mediation. Here's the dependent variable, then the independent variable, the mediator, the moderator, and the model number. But before this syntax works, you have to initialize process. That is, you have to run this SPSS syntax file you get when you download process. If you do that, you have to be careful not to use the word process anywhere in your syntax, not even in the comments. If you want to use the word process in a comment, you should insert a blank after each character. Otherwise you could get error messages. Here's an example of an extended syntax with more or less all those options I showed you with the dialog. The dependent variable, the independent variable, the mediator, the moderator, the model number, here's a covariate, the bootstrap option, the robust standard error, mean centering only for continuous variables, simple slopes, the option using plus and -1 standard deviation for the simple slopes, the Johnson name and significance regions, and 3 decimals. What is new is the seed option. This helps to ensure that each time you run the model, you get the same results with the same data. Without this, you would get slightly different results each time, because bootstrapping is a random process. But if you initialize the random numbers generator, you get the same results each time. You can also find the syntax example on my website, so you just have to copy-paste and change the variable names. The link is in the description. Before we go to the output, there are 2 additional important points. process only distinguishes the first 8 characters of variable names. So you should make sure that you don't have 2 variables for which the first 8 characters are the same, because in that case it's hard to predict what process will do. Secondly, a moderated mediation is a set of regression models, and regressions have assumptions, and you have to check them. Process doesn't do that for you. If you use the options I have recommended, you don't have to worry about normality because you use bootstrapping. You don't have to think about homoscedasticity because you use robust standard errors. What you should absolutely check is the linearity assumption, in order to make sure that you don't have nonlinear relationships in your data. So at the very least, you should run scatter plots between the variables involved. If you want to look at all regression assumptions, if you want to run the Durbin-Watson test, if you want to look at the variance inflation factors, if you want to check for outliers, you will have to rebuild the regression model process runs yourself in SPSS and check the assumptions there. You can find a syntax example for that on my website. Again, link is in the description. And I would recommend checking all the assumptions. Now we come to the interpretation of the output. Before we start there, we have to just remind ourselves what process actually estimates when it runs this model 14. The first estimation is the A path from the independent variable to the mediator. The second model process calculates is the moderated B path together with the direct effect C prime. And then, as a third step, process estimates the moderated indirect effect. And we'll find those 3 models in the output. Let's start with the output. In the first step, I will give you a rough overview of the different elements of the output in order to get a better orientation, because it contains quite a lot of information. And then we'll look at the details. First, we have an overview of the parameters you used. Then the model for the A path from the independent variable to the mediator. Then the model for the B path and the C prime path. This output is quite similar to the output of process model number 1, to a simple moderation. Additional information for the moderation, and here the code for the simple slopes. Here are the results for the indirect effect. This is the core information of the output. Here the bootstrap results for the parameters. And in the end, some notes and possible error messages. After this rough orientation, I show you in which order I look at the variables. First, I check if I really use the correct variables, because if you have many scales in your dataset, it's quite easy to click on the wrong scale, and I don't like to spend much time with the output only to realize that I can't use it anyway. For the same reason, next, I go to the end of the output and check whether there are error messages. Then I go to direct and indirect effects, because this part answers all the questions about whether you really have a moderated mediation or not. The key information is down here, the index of moderated mediation. According to Hayes, if this is significant, you have a moderated mediation. If this is not significant, you don't have a moderated mediation. It's a bootstrap result, so you don't have a p-value, you just have a confidence interval. This is significant if the 0 is not part of this interval. That is, if both sides of the interval are negative, as in this case, or if both sides of the interval are positive. So in this case, we do have a significant index of moderated mediation, and therefore we have a moderated mediation. This index replaces an earlier, more indirect procedure. Then you looked at the A path and checked whether it was significant, and you looked at the moderated B path and checked whether you have a significant moderation there. And if those 2 conditions were met, you would say yes, there was a moderated mediation. The index of moderated mediation is conceptually quite similar to that approach, but tests this more directly. The direct test via the index of moderated mediation in most cases leads to the same results, but not always. But again, according to the modern view, the result of the index of moderated mediation is what counts. Then I look at the conditional indirect effects. They are a little bit similar to simple slopes, but technically they are not simple slopes because they are a combination of the A path and the B path. Here we get the indirect effect for 3 different values of the moderator: -1 standard deviation, mean, and +1 standard deviation. And in this example, for all 3 values of the moderator, we get a significant indirect effect because in all 3 cases, 0 is not part of the confidence interval. Then we look at the direct effect. In this example, we have a significant direct effect of the independent variable on the dependent variable. And now we are done with the overall view on moderated mediation. We know we have a moderated mediation. Let's look at the 2 components separately. This is the model for the A path, and we find here a significant A path. The model for the B path, we have a significant interaction, so we know that the B path is moderated. The test of the highest order unconditional interactions shows that the interaction explains 4.3% additional variance of the dependent variable. Here are simple slopes for the B path. That is the B path for 3 different levels of the moderator. Again, -1 standard deviation, mean, and +1 standard deviation. And here the results of the Johnson-Neyman method. That is the B path on several different values of the moderator. In this example, for all values of the moderator, we get a significant B path. And here is the syntax for producing simple slopes as a diagram. If you copy this into a syntax file and run it, you can produce a diagram with simple slopes. Please make sure that you don't miss this point at the end when you copy it, because otherwise you get an error message. In the end, we look at the bootstrap results in order to check whether the results above for the A path and the B path are confirmed when we use bootstrapping. Again, it's bootstrapping, so you don't have p-values. You have to look at the confidence interval, whether they contain 0 or not. And if they don't contain 0, then they are significant. This brings us to the end of this overview of process model number 14. I hope the information is helpful for you. If you have any questions about this video, feel free to use the comment section.